Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and this is a continuation of last week's video, which was the light trace in the pot swirl kind of gone awry. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is showing you how to rebatch a batch when something like this happens. And in this particular instance, my batch was really soft and it took forever for me to be able to unmold it and just wasn't the consistency I needed it to be true soap. Here is an image of the log after I took it out of the loaf mold, and it's definitely very smooshy looking, and there's a lot of, like, you can see finger swipes where I tried to kind of fix the edges, but it didn't really work because it was just way too soft. So the first thing that we're going to do with this loaf to rebatch it is we're going to have to cut it up into like 1-inch cubes, and once we get these cubes cut up, we're going to put it into a nice heat-safe glass bowl. Cutting up the chunks takes some time, but here it is in its glass bowl. It's a Pyrex, and since my batch was really soft as it was, I didn't have to add any extra liquid. But if you have a batch that's a little bit harder, has been sitting around for a while, it's a good idea to add about half a cup to a cup of water or milk or whatever you want to add to this batch to make it softer, and it's going to absorb the liquid and make it more fluid. Now, when I was cutting these up, I was preheating my oven to 170 degrees Fahrenheit, and so at this point it should be ready to put in the oven. So put this whole glass bowl into the oven and set it for about an hour, because you're going to want to check on it again in about an hour. So here's my bowl after I've been letting it cook for about an hour, and you can see it looks kind of chunky like mashed potatoes, or pink mashed potatoes. And I was stirring it with a spatula for a little bit to kind of make it a little bit more uniform. But what this picture is trying to show you is that I'm going to be mixing it with my hand mixer to get it even more uniform than that. Otherwise it's going to be pretty chunky. Unless that's the look you're going for. It's something I kind of wanted to make a little bit more uniform. It doesn't actually take long to mix it with your hand mixer. It's pretty soft and hot, so be very careful because this is going to be hot. But yeah, it doesn't take very long to mix it up. It's going to be, again, just kind of like mashed potatoes, like soft mashed potatoes at this point. And depending on like the power of the fragrance and the color and everything about it, this is where you can determine whether or not you're going to keep on heating it or stop and put it in the mold. I decided to put mine in the mold at this point, and you can see it's not going to be very pretty. It's going to be kind of chunky because it's cooling down as you're flopping it in there, and that's totally fine. Just make sure that when you put it in there, you're kind of banging your mold down on the table to kind of settle it, and that way you're not going to have like a ton of air pockets or anything like that. After putting my soap in the mold and the bowl in the sink and filling it up with water, this is how much foam it produced. So part of the rebatching is that you're basically making immediate soap. It doesn't have to cure or anything like that. It's pretty much ready to use as soon as you cut it. But yeah, so look at all that foam. And here is the final result, and it smells wonderful. I didn't put any extra fragrance in there or color. This is the original colors and fragrance that I had in my soap from last week, and it came out very vibrant and very fragrant, and I really like it. So but yeah, with rebatching, this is typically kind of what you're gonna see. It's gonna be like a confetti, unless your original soap had no color in it and you didn't add any color or do anything to it. It's gonna kind of have this chunky appearance to it, which is totally fine. And some people like that, maybe some people don't. It just depends on what you're looking for. But anyway, if you liked this video, just give me a thumbs up, and if you're interested in subscribing to my channel, just click on my portrait on the right, and if you'd like to receive notifications when I post, just click on the bell. And I'll see you next time for another Artistic Wednesday video. Bye!